Republicans decided to go full snowflake against Beto O'Rourke in Texas because I think they're getting desperate. Beto O'Rourke apologizes for 1991 musical review detailing actresses' phenomenally large breasts and tight buttocks. So here's what the Hill says. O'Rourke criticized the perma-smile actresses whose only qualification seemed to be their phenomenally large breasts and tight buttocks. He wrote that the entire performance of the musical The Will Rogers Follies was one of the most glaring examples of the sickening excesses of moral degradations of our culture. What? O'Rourke said the show was produced and directed in such a showy, glitzy, and ultimately tacky manner that one cannot help feeling disgusted throughout the show. So O'Rourke issued an apology to Politico on Monday after the story was published. Quote, "I am ashamed of what I wrote and I apologize. There is no excuse for making disrespectful and demeaning comments about women," he said after the story was published. Beto, relax. Relax. First of all, we're talking about something you said. So this isn't actions. This isn't like, oh, you sexually assaulted somebody. This is something you said in 1991. 1991. I was 3 at the time. I'm 30 now. Come on, man. Come on. You don't... I'm actually a little saddened at the fact that he apologized, because it's a smear, and when you apologize to the smear, you give in to the smear. You're like, oh, you're right. But no, they're not right. All you did was said, and listen, he saw the play, and his take on it was, the acting sucked, and it looks like the only reason they picked these particular women to be in this is because they were attractive, to put it in a less crass and crude way. And he has to apologize for that, but what if what you said is true? What if, like, the acting was shitty, and it looks like that is the only reason they picked those particular women? But his response is like, oh, I was disrespectful and demeaning. Oh, God. Come on, man. So is nobody ever allowed to... Like, if somebody has large breasts, is that just... You're not allowed to say that at all now? Like, you just can't say it. You're not allowed to say that. Ever. That just... This is the right weaponizing, honestly, political correctness against the left. And it's cynical, because you know damn well every Republican who read that was probably like, I see nothing wrong with what he said. To me, the only thing I have an issue with what he said is this. That this musical was, quote, one of the most glaring examples of the sickening excesses of moral degradations of our culture. First of all, I'm most offended at the fact that you went to go see a musical. A musical? A musical. A musical. The fuck? But that to me sounds like a right-wing argument. Like, oh, the moral degradation of our culture. And that's a stupid thing to talk about the moral. I think musicals are goofy. I don't think there's such thing as a musical that degrades our culture. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. You know what degrades our culture? Bombing 8 different countries at the same time like we're doing right now. That's what degrades our culture. Torturing, as we still do. NSA spying, as we still do. That's what degrades our culture. Massive income inequality, not having a living wage. That degrades our culture. That's what degrades our culture. The musical degrades our culture. So if anything, that's the part that I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because that's a very right-wing, culture warrior kind of bullshit thing to say. Who cares? I think musicals are goofy, but I don't think it degrades our culture. Shut the fuck up. That's like some Pat Robertson shit to say. But the other part, that doesn't... He thinks the acting was shitty, and a few of the women, their only qualifications seem to be that they're physically attractive. It's possible that actually happened. But he had to grovel. But listen, the thing that's most frustrating to me is the right-wingers cynically using this because they have nothing to go after Beto on when it comes to policy. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball here. That's what's happening. What's happening is, oh shit, this guy's making a run. He could probably beat smarmy Ted Cruz. So, I don't know, smear him. Come up with something. He said large breasts. He said large breasts one time. Quick, that'll distract from the fact that he supports Medicare for all and he's uncorrupted. Fuck off. Fucking Ted Cruz. By the way, there's a poll that shows Beto up. He's up over Ted Cruz in Texas. In Texas. In Texas. He's up in one poll. I don't know if that's a trend that'll hold, but I hope it does. Ted Cruz. Oh, I want to see him lose so bad. Oh, I want to see Ted Cruz lose so bad. Somebody, I think it was Ken Klippenstein, said something funny in a tweet. He said, Ted Cruz looked at that poll where Beto's up, and he's sweating more than when he realized he liked a porn video on Twitter. Amen to that.